Yesterday, real quick review on yesterday. If I have two triangles, and I want to show they're congruent, I know it was a lot of work, but what did I need to do? If I want to show those two triangles are congruent yesterday, what did I need to show you? I know it was a lot of work too. So what did I need to show you if all those two triangles are congruent? Here we go. Josh, what did I need to show you?
All the angles and all the sides.
Yeah, it was a pain. I get it. It was a pain, right? We had to do all this. And then not only was that not good enough, then I needed to do this. And then that's third angle theorem. Good news. Here's the good news. You don't need that anymore. There's actually less information you can provide that shows two triangles are congruent. Okay, less information. You do not need to do this anymore. Everyone good? I'm going to show you over the course of the next week five different ways to prove triangles congruent without doing all this work. Okay, today is the first two. First method that proves triangles congruent without showing everything is called SSS. That's an abbreviation. SSS, abbreviation for side, side, side. Okay, side, side, side. What is that telling you? If you can show me all three sides are congruent, guys, we're done. We're done. The triangles are congruent. You don't need to say a word about the angles. Okay, so if you can only show me all three pairs of sides are congruent, good enough, the triangles are congruent. Make sense there? All right. Okay, side, side, side. And take a look at the diagram. As long as I have all three pairs of sides, we're done. Don't care about the angles. Second method, I'm going to go a little slower on this one because this one's a little bit different. SAS, abbreviation for side. What do you think the A means? Angle, side. So let's talk about this. Does that mean if I have two sides and an angle, they're congruent? No, it does not. Listen carefully. I can only use this. Notice where I've placed the A. Where's the A in SAS? In between what? The sides. So that's where your angle has to be. Look at my diagram. Does everybody see? Just look at one triangle. Everyone see how this angle is in between the two sides? Do you understand what I mean by in between? Two congruent sides and the angle's in the middle of it. Do we see that? This is side, angle, side. Watch what I do now. Let me put the congruent angle somewhere else. Are those angles in between? No. So this is not side, angle, side. And guess what? This is never going to be away. The angle has to be in between. All right? SSA, and yes, I'll do it now, ASS, the donkey theorem, never going to be away. Okay, so darn it, if that angle's not in between, they are not congruent. Okay, don't automatically think two sides in an angle, you're good. The angle's got to be in between the sides. Good? In between. Okay, let's test these out on you now. Let's test these bad boys out. So here's what I want to do in the next 9 examples. 3 we'll do together. The other 6 are in your group. I want to take the two triangles. Do I have enough information to say they're congruent? If you do, we're going to write a statement like we did yesterday, and then you're going to tell me the reason. Side, 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 or side, angle, side. All right, first up, does everyone see the two triangles we're talking about here? The two smaller ones? Good. I've already marked a pair of sides, and I've already marked a pair of angles. You are allowed to do 2 and only 2 markings on the diagram. The first marking you're allowed to do is if they share a side. These two triangles share a side? Name it. So you can mark that side. And how I mark a shared, aka reflexive side, I put an X there. That's how Mr. Carlino rolls. If you want to put a happy face, a heart, a star, I don't care. I put an X on a shared side. What's the other thing you're allowed to mark? I'll get to that in a couple minutes. But you can mark a reflexive side on your own. Now, this is definitely not side, side, side. I don't know anything about AD and DC, and you don't either. You're not going to assume anything. But is this angle in between? Let's figure it out. Everyone cover up one of the triangles for me with your hand. Cover up one of the triangles with your hand or finger. Is that angle in between the two sides that have been marked? Yes, it is. So guess what? This is side angle side. All right, so first answer is yes, they are congruent. Second part of this is write a statement. And remember, what do we have to make sure about our statements? Everything matches up. So somebody start me with one of the triangles. Go ahead, Charlie. Triangle. ABD, sure. So triangle ABD is congruent to, now match them up. Match up the sides and angles that correspond. If we call the first triangle ABD, the second triangle will be called CBD, good job. And the third part of this, these problems is by what method? What reason? You only have two. SAS, side, angle, side. Does everyone see the side, angle, side? All right, going on to number 2 now. Can you mark a reflexive side at all? Nope, so don't. Is this enough information? Is SS a reason? No, and you can't say, oh, those two are equal, so that must mean these two. Remember, there's no third sides theorem I told you yesterday. So this is it. This is all the information you have. Is it enough? Nope. So this would be, these triangles are not congruent. I don't have enough information. And they never will be congruent. I don't have a method coming up next week that's going to prove them congruent. Can you guys go to number 9 for me? I told you that there's 2 things you're allowed to mark on the diagram on your own that probably will not be marked. One is reflexive side. The second one, here it is right now, number 9. Take a look. You can mark these congruent if you see them on your own, because they won't be. I will never mark those congruent. That's up to you. And what are those called again? Vertical angles. Okay, so shared side, vertical angles you can mark on your own. It will never be marked on the diagram for you. So let's talk. Are these triangles congruent or not? Well, it's definitely not side, side, side. Cover up one of the triangles with your hand or finger if you need to. Is one of those vertical angles in between? No, yes or no? Nope. So these are not congruent. Okay, not congruent. You and your group, finish up the other 6. Be in agreement. Because I'm going to call on people here. Be in agreement.